Eostre, goddess, so beautiful, goddess with so much behind her, goddess that is used by the Anglo Saxons. She is the goddess of spring and fertility and abundance, and though little is wrote about her, there is a story, and I would like to talk about her today. So if you're interested in Eostre, beautiful Eostre, carry on watching. Hi everyone. This week I'm talking all about the goddess Eostre, and as you may note, I am wearing some symbols because as a Seder practitioner I go into depth into the other realms, and when it is right I put the symbols upon me because they have a power within them. Even though it may not be the sort of power you're thinking of, it's a power that only I can find within those symbols because it means something to me. Obviously, if somebody else was doing it, I would not expect them to be doing the same symbols. It has got to be something that has a meaning for you guys. And so when you see symbols upon my face or my arms or wherever, those symbols represent something magical for me, so I can draw upon energies, and those energies help me to connect, to be doing the things that I want to be doing. Now, spring is a time of the year Christians would celebrate Easter, but the pagans celebrate Ostara, and Ostara actually comes from the name of the goddess Eostre. Now, Eostre has a very small story, and it is linked, as I said, to the Anglo Saxons. Just lately I have been drawn to looking into more of the Anglo Saxon pantheon and how they worshipped and used them in their lives. I'm not coming away from the Norse stuff, but I am incorporating in some of the Anglo Saxon, because living in England, it's nice to get to know some of my basic background as well as the other stuff. For I have the link with my DNA to Scandinavia, so I wanted to try and link the two together, and I thought it might interest you guys to know more about these other gods and goddesses, that some resemble the same, some have similar names. So Eostre, who is she? Well, she's a goddess of spring, the goddess of dawn, the goddess of the newness of life, the goddess of revitalizing the earth itself and all that's abundant within her. She is the one that brings through the better weather, the nicer times, the rebirth of life itself, the plants coming back, the animals coming back, humans coming out of the darkness of the winter. And so when the Christians celebrate Easter, that's where her name has come from. And if you look at how they celebrate, even though it's about their religion, they still bring in the aspect of Easter eggs, and sometimes they even do things with the hare or the rabbit. And I've often thought to myself, do they not realise that, how does that fit in with their celebration at Easter? Because that, as we know, is about the death and resurrection of Christ. The pagans celebrate Eostre, the beautiful goddess, in her abundant joy of fulfilling the beginning of spring, the bringing through of new life and the sunshine and everything that we look forward to at the time that winter is dissolving away. Some places have still got snow on the floor, which is funny, but you still get little resemblances of the flowers, the little snowdrops, and then you get the daffodils and the crocuses and all the plants that tell you, hey, spring is here or it's coming. And Eostre comes through that way. Now the Anglo Saxons and the Germanic tribes, they believed that she represented force, a force, because she owned the powers of renewal and rebirth and the fertility of the earth itself. The name Eostre comes from the Proto-Germanic root, which means to shine, literally. So she is linked to the dawn because the dawn brings through the light, which can shine if the sun is very strong. Not that it is that strong at this time of the year, bringing through the hope of a new day, a new dawn, a new time, a new season, a new way to live, because when we're in winter we live totally differently to when we're in summer or spring or autumn. But even talking about dawn makes you realise that you need two forces to be able to bring this through. We have to have polarity, and so we have the sun and the moon, we have Suna and we have Mani. So you've got the three, because you've got the earth, which is in a way Eostre, the child of the mother and the father, the sun and the moon. And so you have the power of the sun, the spiritual side in the moon. You have light from both, but you also have different aspects to it. So the sun helps to make things grow. It gives us light, heat, and invigorates us to start doing things more than what we do when it's winter and the sun has been very low. Now it's coming back to life. So Eostre is bringing through that new light, that new way. The sun's coming back. We can now have time to go out and enjoy outside, so nature in general. It's a time when animals start to get together and produce. It's also a time of humans coming together and reproducing. So we can see that she brings through that energy, focus of a goal that we aim for. So it is a festival for the pagans and maybe even some heathens, as we have the Anglo Saxons involved. Nobody really knows, as we don't have much wrote about it, but we know by how excavations have gone in England, the digs that the archaeologists have done, that there is proof of different things that happen in the way that they worshipped. And Eostre was one of the pantheon of gods. Now we know that they had Odin, but spelt Woden. We know that Thor was involved, but called Thuna. So they had Tyr. They also had Frigg. There was an abundance of other gods and goddesses native to Britain, to England. We know that those beliefs came through when we were invaded by the Northmen or the Norsemen. And so that came through and mixed with the Britons, those that were already here. We had an outcome. We had the Anglo Saxons, and those had these traditions that they believed in. So they did have a festival, and also the animal, the hare, was involved. Also eggs. Eggs were very important, because if you look at an egg, it's fertility in a shell. So we have the egg for fertility and birth, and the hare. And you might ask, how does the hare come into it? On the old Germanic calendar, it amounted to the date of April. And so we can see that they would do a celebration in April. This is why I'm doing this video now, because we are in March, but it's coming towards this celebration. Ostaranod. And that actually means Easter month. So it's a celebration that is done at a time when everything is coming back to life, and this predates Christianity for their celebration. It was there long before, and of course spring equinox comes into it. Now there is a story, and the story goes something like this, that Eostre was walking along and she sees a bird, but the bird has got wings that are completely frozen and they cannot be used. She takes pity upon this creature and decides to turn him into a hare. Now the hare darts away and is so happy because he can move about. All of a sudden he starts to lay an egg. Eostre laughs. Even though he presents himself as a hare, he is still able to lay eggs as a bird would, because he's still a bird. She has just put that essence, that spirit, that animal into a new body to enable it to carry on living and not be restricted. So that's where we get the eggs and the hare from. The moon comes into this because you need polarity, and the sun also. We have lighter days, we have powerful intentions. The moon brings through the spirituality and the psychic abilities and the women's secrets and women's powers. The giving birth, the egg again, and the hare. The hare would go and reproduce in big amounts, and that is why. Now Eostre turned herself into a hare to enjoy the abundance of fertility with the other hare, for she was so excited of what she had achieved. Now the pagans would celebrate this and enjoy. And of course there would be many children born from this beautiful time of the year. It's also for the plants, you know, the renewal of the seeds to be replanted. So the festivals would be really exciting. People would get up early in the morning, the early dawn, to see the light come, and that would be at equinox. There's not really a lot more I can tell you about Eostre, but it's a feeling, it's a way of gaining a new goddess into your heart for that time, to know that her purpose was to aid the planet, to aid Mother Earth, to aid people and creatures and plant life, to bring through a new hope. So what are you doing this year, guys? What do you celebrate? Do you celebrate Ostara? Or have you not thought about it? Or just spring equinox? Let me know down below. I'd love to know what you guys do. I thought it would be nice to do a getting to know the energy of Eostre, finding out through a path working, and I just wanted really to give you that energy that comes. If you know how to plug into that energy, it will help you, and you will be able to vitalize yourselves into a new pattern for this time. So I hope you get something from it. We're going to do this quick path working. We want to find out who she is or what her energy is like, and the best way of doing that is to get yourself comfortable, get yourself seated where you're not going to be disturbed. And we know how to do that now. We take some deep breaths in through the nose, holding it, and then out through the mouth, and relaxing, letting yourself be absorbed by the energy that you start to feel. So we're going to take some deep breaths in now. Take a deep breath in through the nose. hold it. Now let it out through the mouth. Start to feel yourself relaxing. Find yourself letting go. Letting go of any thoughts that might come into your mind. Letting go of anything that might interrupt you in your mind. Starting to feel very calm. You need to be in an energy that's going to make you feel good. We want to find that energy. Where is that energy? You only know the way to do it. And how is that the way to do it? We're going to find Eostre. We're going to find out where she is. So I want you now to feel relaxed. Try to visualize now this beautiful meadow. And in this meadow is a bit of a steep mound where you're going to start to walk towards. Start walking, guys. Walk towards the mound, taking in all the beautiful visions around you, the grass growing, the greenery, the trees. In the distance you see animals grazing and also humans laughing and joking and walking amongst the waterfalls and the little streams. You feel good in your heart. You feel like you really are free. You start to see the mound, and all of a sudden it starts to open up. But it's not just opening up, it's turning into the shape of a female. You stand there looking, rooted to the spot. What's happening? What's going on? You notice that there are others standing with you, but they're not scared. They're not scared because they know who it is, and they say to you excitedly, "Goodness me, she's coming, she's coming." And you say, "Who's coming?" They say, "Don't you know? Eostre, goddess of dawn, goddess of abundance, fertility, rejuvenation, life." And there before you she stands, beautiful Eostre. She looks at you and smiles. She's come to show you what she's going to give you, and she shows you in your mind's eye the following few weeks. When you start to look around, you see the start of life. You see the sun coming out of the sky and shining brightly. You see the hare running around, jumping for joy, laying lots of eggs, and she laughs and smiles at you and says the joy of spring is here, the joy of new life. And then she says to you, come with me and I will show you the joy that must be beginning within you, within your seed, within your families, because spring is a time of hope, it's a time of dreams, it's a time of love. And you walk with her as she shows you the animals in the fields being happy together, and the youngsters running into the woods and getting to know each other. And she says this is what life is about. It's about regaining strength and seeing what the future will bring. New life, a new way of living and enjoyment. It's also a time to share with others the joy that you have within you. She says she also wants to impart upon you a gift, a spiritual gift, a gift of that energy that is within her, an abundance energy, one that will give you the feeling of great joy and health, abundance, strength and vitality. She then takes you, as you walk with her, she takes you through a small stream and says, walk with me, enjoy the water of abundance, enjoy the waters and the elixir of life, that it's come itself from the tree of life. Enjoy, walk and feel the energy that is now coming from that water, seeping into your very feet and coming up your body. You can feel it bubbling all around you and within you. And she says that is just one of the energies of spring. You're standing also within the earth itself, your mother, the thing that is stable and a stability for you. I want you to enjoy and feel the earth upon you. Sit on the earth and feel it. Feel the heartbeat of the mother as it quickens towards spring and towards newness of life. It is coming back to life. All the creatures that live within the earth are all alive. And then she says, let's go find some fire. Where would the fire be? So you look for the fire. She says, you don't need to look that far. Look above you. There is Suna, Goddess Suna, and she smiles at you also and blows you a kiss of fire. The fire comes to you and kisses you and enters into you, and you are filled with a new vigour, a new strength, a new understanding. Then she says, air, where is your air? And you say, well, it's here. She said, air is everywhere. Air is in the wind, it is in the sky, but it is also within you. It is the abundance of life that Odin breathed. You have the air of life within your lungs. Breathe that new energy, breathe that excitement, encouraging others to join also. It's a time to enjoy. And with that, she says, play with all of the people that are here. We now want to sing and dance and have fun, for that festival is my name, Eostre, Ostara, Easter. Fulfill yourselves and join me and remember me every year. And with that, she says, I now want to go and start helping the plants to grow. I'm going back to the earth, but before I do, I'm going to jump around with my friend the hare, and she turns into a hare and they jump off together. You are feeling her energy, that excitement, that newness, that beginning, new journey, and you have her to thank for this gift. Now you have a little dance with your friends that you've made, and it's time to come back. So we come back, but before we come back, you see a beautiful bouquet in front of you, a gift from Eostre of daffodils, beautiful, bright yellow, and you pick them up and you take them with you, for they bring you joy of renewal, a beginning of spring. And now we come back through the meadow, back to where you was, and when you're ready, open your eyes. Do this with your hands and feet, and when you finished, make sure you eat and drink, for you need to ground. So there you go, my friends. I hope you enjoyed that. It was just a way of showing you how we can let that energy of spring and spring equinox into your hearts, into your lives, and remember that it is the beginning of abundance, of new life, of rebirth, warmer days, and the joy that comes with it. So I'm going to leave it there, and I hope all of you are well. Thank you to my new subscribers, and I also want to thank you all for me reaching 800 subscribers. Thank you, I really do appreciate it, for it will help the channel to grow and hopefully get to more people that are looking for information. Thank you to those that are always here and always supporting this channel and me. I do appreciate you too, guys. And so, wherever you are, whatever time of day, night or evening it may be, I wish you the best ever. House of Lang.